Hi, I'm Dana and I'm about to go to America, but we have one issue, which is that I'm going with carry-on only, and this is the backpack that like fits the specifications. And as you can see, I don't want to be like it's disgusting because it's a perfectly standard ordinary backpack. I know this is fine, but I cannot carry this backpack. Like obviously physically I can and will, but I need it to not look like this. This is one of the saddest backpacks I've ever seen in my entire life, and I can't be walking around scene with this. So we have all of these random little bits, we have these random little bits, and I'm gonna film what I'm doing to it while I watch Life on Mars. So you're gonna get to see the whole process. I might even do a little voiceover. I might even like actually make a YouTube video, you know? But I'm gonna be watching my little show and making this look, basically I need everything to look like it belongs to me. If it doesn't look like it's mine, I will forget that it's mine. So that's what we're doing. Let's go.
This doesn't make sense.
What part of will explode in 15 minutes are you finding hard to grasp?
Check me out doing an actual voiceover like a real YouTuber and making an actual real life YouTube video when I'm being a YouTuber. Look at me go. So yeah, I got this pom-pom stuff in the like Christmas wrapping section at Asda like 2 years ago, and I've been saving it for something special. And this finally felt like something special enough to use it for, and I'm really glad because it looks so good. Otis was being super helpful here. But yeah, I'm really glad with how it turned out. But the thing is, I was going to do this around like every zip on the bag. I was going to make it super colourful, and sewing by hand through like 3 or 4 layers probably at the seams there of this canvas that the bag's made out of. Like that shit is thick and sturdy, and it was so hard to poke anything through. And like I'm not any sort of even like, I'm not even really a craft level sewer, to be honest with you. I don't have the equipment. I've got a needle and thread, you know, like in a pair of scissors. Like I don't have a thimble. I don't have anything to make this easier. I was super scared I was going to break my needle, and all my others had like a way bigger eye. Is that what you call the bit of a needle that's a hole? They were bigger on the end, so I was like, that's only going to make it worse to actually pull through. So I did what I bloody well could, okay? And I like the way it turned out, to be fair. And then I cut the badges off my current bag that I've been using because it's falling apart. And like that Cavern badge I've had since I was 16. The Foo Fighters one I've had since I was about 18. The Elvis one was my mother's when she was like probably around 14, 15 back in the day because she was a big Elvis fan. That handball one I had when I lived in Denmark. Like these are old badges. That one was the first one to ever get me likes on Instagram, and I just got a little vegan one because I am vegan. So I like my things to be a representation of me, okay? Oh, this is the worst thing ever to sew through. And I've also made some decisions, totally not based on how difficult it's been to sew, which is that I'm gonna use these couple of little like mini patches that I have that are cute, that have the adhesive like iron-on backing, and I think I'm gonna do them on the straps. Actually, I always forget that like things can exist on straps, because I think I want to save like the main front of it to get patches while I'm in the US. I'd like to, because I'm visiting Arizona and California, so I'd like to try and get some like state patches, and maybe just like, I don't know if patches are like a big thing in America, but I hope they are, because I'd like to get some to put on here. I don't know, I might go to like a Michael's or a Hobbycraft or something, I don't know. So I think I'm gonna do just like pin on badges on the front here, those ones on the sides. I don't see, this bit's not very thick because I would have liked, where's it gone? I would like my Bowie one on here really, but like that's not, no, it's literally a couple of millimeters too big. It could, maybe I'll try and pick this off and put it like right front and centre. Shall we try and pick that off? Who wants brand logos on things anyway? Like I'm not high tech, I don't even have a seam ripper. I had to just pick it up with a pair of scissors until it eventually gave way and I could get it off. But honestly, really glad I did. I don't like the way that like everything is branded like these days. I sound like such an old person, but I just feel like things didn't used to have such like obvious branding, and this backpack definitely wasn't the biggest issue, but lots of people have been talking about all this branding on prosthetics, and that's insane. But yeah, so with all of that in mind, I was really glad to take the branding off in the end, and then I ironed on my patches. I've never been someone that irons on patches, ever. I've always sewn them on because I just don't... I like the idea that I can take them off and switch them onto other things, as you've seen, you know? But I did not at all want to have to sew onto this bag again. I've never had a bag that's so difficult to sew into, and I couldn't find the motivation within me to actually do it, you know? And because I've always just sewn on my patches, it meant that even the ones that I've used before still had the sticky backing, like the glue adhesive thing. And also, I would not advise that you ever iron directly onto a patch. Do as I say, not as I do. You're not meant to do that. I just did it anyway. But don't, if you do this. It's been a few days, but the only thing that's changed is that I'm now watching Ashes to Ashes instead of Life on Mars. And this is where we're at with the bag. It's going. And I might have already explained, but I decided I don't want to put more patches on it because I want to get ones while I'm in the US. So now we're just going to put on little like pin-on badges, badges, and some key rings. So let's do that. I spent a good few days debating if I wanted to like do pin badges on my patches, and in the end I was like, I'm just gonna leave it with a couple of patches and do a bunch of badges, and then if I get anything cool in the US, I can just stick it on, you know? I can take things off, move things around. It's until I have like the solid plan after I've come back and know what I can get there as like little memory tokens, I'm best leaving it like this, I think. And I do like how it came out. Like, I'm no longer slightly grossed out at the idea of carrying this bag around, you know? It feels like a little representation of me to take with me. And I like having self-expression, you know? That's what I always hated about, like, school and uniforms and stuff. I like my self-expression and being able to add personal touches to things. And I wish more people did it, honestly. I don't like how often, like, when I'm walking around, I'm the only person with, like, fun stuff, you know? I know that lots of people do it, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's so rare that I'm always really excited when I see someone else that's, like, embellished stuff and whatever, you know? Like, just a little bit self-expression, a little bit your own thing going on. And I don't judge people that don't. It takes time and effort, and I get that, and everyone wants to put that in. But I really enjoy seeing other people that do. So I have all of my little fandom keyrings and my little badges and just all of the little things that make me happy and make me feel good and that I enjoy. And then I decided that it actually wasn't enough. I really wanted it to be, but I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna have a little doodle and see if my little Posca paint pen things that cost me an extraordinarily large amount of money quite a long time ago, number one, is even still working, and secondly, if they show up on this horrible fabric. See, it's not even horrible, it's perfectly fine texture. I thought it was absolutely okay until I had to sew into it. But yeah, so I started doodling and I was like, yo, this is actually turning out quite good. I could have done it better. If I'd known it was actually going to work and wasn't just going to be that little top bit, I would have, like, put more effort and time into it. But I just was like, oh my god, it's working, and then carried on going. And I don't necessarily adore the final look, but I like it more than I liked it before, you know? Like, I'm not an artist. I'm not a fashion designer. I've no clue what I'm doing. This is just a little bit of self-expression and fun. So for what it is, I'm happy enough with it, you know? It's not perfect, it's not brilliant, but it's a little splash of me, and it'll do me to get around the US and get a plane with all of my things that I can take to a completely different continent. I'm only slightly very terrified. It's gonna be fine. But I feel better by at least having my backpack sorted and having it feel like I'm not gonna forget it or lose it or do something stupid like that, you know? I feel like it makes me slightly more prepared. And it's such a silly thing to feel more prepared about, but that's how we roll. If I feel it, I feel it. We're just going to accept things like that and go with it. And I don't know why that became so fucking philosophical when this is literally just me drawing on a bag. It's like every emo teen did it, get over yourself. But this is the final product. This is how it turned out. This is my backpack. I'm happy with it. It's cute. It's a little splash of me. It's got like lots of my fandoms and stuff on there. A little bit of colour, a little bit of rainbow. It does the job. I'm happy with it. I don't know what else I can say, honestly. I feel like I've been rambling I don't feel like I have. I have been rambling a hell of a lot, but there's only so much I can say about putting badges on a bag, you know? I just kind of want to encourage more people to embellish things and add their own little splash to things, and I thought I could do it by making a little video like this, just showing how I add my own little splash to things. And I don't know, I just like collecting bits for things like this, you know? So it's nice to finally use them. But that's the end of the video. I post on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. I don't know how much time I have until this one's out. You can follow me over on TikTok. You can follow me on Patreon. There's a Ko-fi. I'll have all sorts of links down below. You can follow me in loads of places. All right. Whoever you are, wherever you are, be having a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, evening, year. Bye.